Hey guys, here we are for 8-man queue number 2. Alright. Hand looks just fine. Looks like we're up against Esper mid-range, most likely. Or I guess maybe red-green aggro. Or looks like we're up against Ravager actually. Or Rug. We're up against something, and I'm pretty sure it's Rug Pod. So up against Rug, he's probably going to be going into like Frost Titan or possibly Primeval Titan next turn. So we want to go ahead and try to get our champion as big as possible and just keep getting in. If he goes Titan, we'll just go ahead and copy it. He could also be setting up a nasty bonfire. Maybe he has Green Sun Zenith, so we're not entirely sure here. Either way, still going to be setting up just continuing to build forces here. And that's the game, I guess. So up against Rug, we definitely want to have access to turn off Pod, Grafdigger's Cage, and Trinket Mage. Not sure if we need Life Staff here. Potentially might. I don't think so. Relic Warder is good for getting rid of his Seer of the Suns. What else do we want? Nevermore for Titans. O-Ring for the same Titans. With Rug, I'm not sure that he has a lot of the same lands here, but I think that Spellskite is still worth bringing in. We definitely want to have access to Flash Freeze. And as for Talia, we're bringing in kind of a lot of our spells of our own. He does have, you know, some spells, some mana, you know, speeding up with mana spells, but I don't think Talia's going to be as good here against him, just because he is going to have the bonfire, a lot of sort of Slagstorm effects, and you know we want to have room for our own spells as well. So Feast and Famine is still quite good. Gut Shot, not nearly as good. Gut Shot is still fine against his Nexus if he goes that direction, but I'm not sure that he's going to be kind of setting up that direction. Probably want to have access to Purge, just in case he has like Inferno Titan or Huntmaster. And what else do we want to cut here? With more sweepers, Gather the Townsfolk is going to be much less good. Champion, if we take out Gather, we probably need to take out Champion also. So the question is, do we want to keep in our Talias, force the Slagstorm, and then go ahead and play out more of our spells? I'm not sure. We could also shave down our 3-drop slot here with Silverblade Paladin. I'm not sure Silverblade Paladin is exactly what we want to be doing here. I think that since we have Honor of the Pure, we still get a little bit of value out of Gather. So maybe just going to shave it like this, so we still have some early game. Not 100% sure on this sideboard plan, but I think this is how we're going to have it set up for the moment. this hand is okay. We can definitely get there if we get some more land. It's a little bit slower. I think it's still worth keeping. We do have definitely 2 sources here. It's going to be a little bit more of a slow draw. So he does have the Wolf Run, and so we definitely want to have access to Spellskite. Really need to pick up a little bit of land here to get this going, but there's Cavern for Giants, yep. There's the Sphere. So we got a Giant coming in next turn no matter what. Oh man, this is really hurting here on the land. I guess he does not have access to the Giant this turn, which is very nice. But he still does have access to the Wolf Run, which would be a major problem. We really need to get one of our Blade Splicers online. We could consider just dropping Sword here. I still think it's worth having Sword and having access to it. If he has Inferno Titan, I do want to have access to Purge. I think we're just going to unfortunately lose another Angel here. So now we really need to have Blade Splicer so we don't just get overrun by his Simulacrum. Okay, there we are. First strike, very important right here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and swing in with Golem and drop another Golem. We could also drop like Feast and Famine here to play around some of his mass removal. We have so much action in our hand, but I think dropping Golem is fine. We just need to really start picking up the pace here. So this is probably Bonfire or Slagstorm. Okay. Just going to continue on with the Blade Splicer plan. So now if we draw land, we can go ahead and start Feast and Famining, and if we don't, we'll just go ahead and end a turn Restoration Angel. So he does have Inkmoth access, but we're going to force it here with the Feast and Famine. Alright, so now we're going to have Angel back up for his Inkmoth Nexus. I think is the plan. So he must know we have Angel at this point, but it's still definitely going to be our play. so there's the Ink Moth coming in. Going to go all out on the... Oh, I guess he does have some kind of removal here. Maybe he could have the... oh, can't think of the word for it, but the 2 mana red, 5 damage to white creature or blue. Can't be countered. And there it is. Bust. So we're going to need some kind of answer here. We might just be dead on the table here at this point. Why do we have access to a trinket range? Nothing here that's going to save us, unfortunately. So I think we're just dead on the table. Yeah. Even if we make 2 guys, he just makes his guy, makes it big enough, pumps for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and it's game. Alright, well, what can you do? I guess we'll just play like we've got it. Yeah. So even though we're for sure dead, you know, no reason to just give up. Opponents do occasionally make misplays, so it's worth, you know, just trying to force the misplay. Oh, and speaking of misplays, we should have equipped our spirit, then we would have had 3, 4, so he equips 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's 8 force, and we block 4, take 4, and go to 1. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we made a major misplay there by not equipping Sword of Feast and Famine to the Spirit token, which would have been pretty excellent. Now he just pumps for the win. For some reason in my mind I was thinking that we couldn't equip Sword just because we have to make this the token as an instant, but if we had equipped Sword we would have been just enough to live. Yep. Alright, so I think same plan here for the next turn. We do want possibly 1 to 2 gut shots. Still want to make room for champion. I think Sword is still good. Not sure what I want to cut here. Image, definitely not as good, just because, well, I mean, we can copy Titan, which is definitely worth noting. He can still target it, though. But I think it's probably worth copying Titan, or being able to. I think we don't actually need Grafdigger's Cage here, because it's not actually pod. So, with that in mind, we'll bring in champion, double gut shot, and be ready to go. So, need to kind of get used to sort of taking a moment, looking at all the possibilities, especially for a key play like that, where it can cost us the game. So here we're actually just going to go ahead and copy champion, and then kind of start bashing in a little bit. This way, hopefully we can get our champion big enough to live through the incoming Slag Storm. Might have been better to save it for Blade Splicer, but I think we want to get the jump on our opponent here. Now, the problem is if he has Slag Storm at this point, he still gets us. So like we could Splicer here, but I think we want to just Honor the Pure instead. Well, problem is if he has Slag Storm, he just gets us. Yeah, I think it's worth. Our mana works just great though if we go ahead with Splicer here, and we do not have these Slag Storm. So we get these Slag Storms and we have Blade Splicer back up. I think we want to take the risky play though, just because the payoff is so much greater. So if he doesn't have Slag Storm, we are definitely ahead here. And if we can hang out for one turn, then we're able to drop Honor the Pure and get one of our champions out of range. It's like Whip Flare doesn't do it, he needs Slag Storm right here, and he doesn't have it. Pretty risky play, but I think the payoff is so much so that it's worth it. Especially since he's going to be getting Titan soon anyways, you know, we really want to be able to do as much damage as humanly possible before Titan resolves. It's kind of more of looking at that if we don't make the risky play, do we have a chance to win this game? I'm not sure. Now we can go ahead and copy Splicer and drop out Honor the Pure. Just push as much damage as humanly possible here. And that's the match. So misplay in game 2, but turned it around for the third game. Sometimes, you know, in those situations, you know, if he had the Slag Storm there, we definitely lose the match. But if he didn't have Slag Storm and we play, you know, kind of a little bit more safely there, we may not have the gas to get there, because if he has another turn, he can drop Titan and be right back in the game. So you got to think about the long run too. You know, can I win this game if I don't make the risky play? But we will see you for the next round.